name is Dr. Raphael Gunner, and I'm a clinical psychologist in Los Angeles, California. You're about to watch one of my Psych Stops, a series of brief talks on how to live skillfully. These talks are the fruit of many years spent trying to figure out how to find contentment. I hope that this talk is useful to you, and I appreciate your taking the time to listen to my thoughts. In my experience, most of us tilt either in the direction of depression or in the direction of anxiety when we are overwhelmed. If we are depressed, we tend to shut down and feel that we are unable to achieve the things that we need to do, and there's a heaviness, a cloudiness, a weightiness to our experience. And if we're anxious, we tend to get ratcheted up, very tight, very gripped, and very wound. They couldn't look more different from each other. The depressed person is carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. The anxious person is virtually levitating with tension. And yet, both of them, from my point of view, may be dealing with exactly the same underlying situation. If we tilt depressive, we end up heavy. If we tilt anxious, we end up wound. But the structure of both situations is such that we feel, unbeknownst to ourselves, underneath the depression or the anxiety, inevitably a feeling of helplessness. When we feel depressed or when we feel anxious, if we can ask ourselves whether we may be feeling helpless and get to that feeling of helplessness, then we can ask ourselves one simple question: am I as helpless as I think I am? Almost always, there's something that we can do to improve our situation. And the minute we can think of even one thing to do to try to make a difference, we move from a feeling of helplessness and a feeling of hopelessness into a mode of problem solving. And the minute we start to problem solve, then our hopelessness changes to hopefulness, our helplessness changes to helpfulness, and we're on our way toward doing something that allows us to feel like we have some control. So the way out of depression and the way out of anxiety are exactly the same: to find the feeling of helplessness, ask ourselves whether we are in fact as helpless as we feel, and then as we begin to problem solve, move from a sense of no control toward a sense of control and begin to move out of our state of mind.